Coming up, we got our first look at Peter Parker's new adventure. Join us as we dissect the new trailer for Spider-Man Brand New Day. Stay tuned.
Nice flowers.
Oh, they're a housewarming gift.
I'm MJ.
I'm just a neighbor from across the hall.
Friendly neighbor.
Welcome to the Morgue, where we dissect the latest and greatest in the world of entertainment. And we are your hosts, Arturo Padilla, along with Mr. Nick Valdez. Before we get started, do not forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, and that bell. That way you know when all these videos are dropping. Tex, got a good one today for the folks out there.
Yeah, we do. Like Spider-Man Brand New Day. We finally got the trailer for this thing, and whoo boy, like it's one of those things, right? Where like Spider-Man sells itself. So, naturally it's like, okay, they don't need to show us anything, right? It's like, even though we're like, oh, I want to see it, want to see Spider-Man, it's like we're all gonna go, right? It's not even like they don't have to advertise it, but I'm glad they did. They unfortunately they kind of Disney and Marvel and Sony, I think it's Sony's blame on this one, where they kind of did a weird rollout for the trailer online, where like the day before they started like sharing like second long clips, and this is just like a little
I wouldn't be surprised that was all Sony's idea.
Yeah, like
they fumbled the bag many times. So
yes, like I hope that's not like a trend for trailers, because you know how trailers. This is just like a little side tangent, really quick, but you know how like they've changed recently, right? Where it's like not only do a lot of them start with like the whole reel of what's going on in the trailer before the trailer starts, right? It's like they got to do the summary and show the best clips before you actually sit there and watch it. Yeah, so I really hope this isn't a sign of what's to come. But this is all to say, now that we've got the thing, like totally worth it, totally not even like worried about it at all. Like it. So Destin Daniel Cretton, who directed Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings, who also like he's directing this one now, and it's clear that like you can immediately see a difference just by the trailer. That's not even like glazing like the visuals or anything like that. It's like, no, you can see that there's like a whole different style with this, right? Like there's a whole like it's just an entirely different energy, and it makes sense because now we're set 4 or 5 years after the events of No Way Home. Peter, once again, Doctor Strange uses magic to make people forget Peter Parker was Spider-Man, and now we're in this world now where Peter's by himself, just doing Spider-Man things, going full-time Spider-Man, and who knows if it seems like he's going to college, but also he's like super broken on his own, right? It's like, I don't know, man.
There's a lot of questions that we want answered, but just off the bat, dude, I am so excited for this movie.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I'm happy that it's coming out at the end of July and we don't have to wait for it like in the winter.
None of that Avengers
movies.
Nonsense.
I know. I'm so hyped for this movie, dude. It looks great. I think they definitely wanted to take their time and make sure that even in the trailer, the graphics, the CG looked good, and we saw probably what we'll be seeing in theaters. It looked awesome. We get a good sense of what the narrative is going to be in this movie as well. We get a good look at a lot of the characters that we're going to see in the movie. And Tex, man, I'm so excited. I was telling Tex all day off the air since this trailer came out this morning. We've just been going back and forth, just very hyped about this and very excited because this is exactly what we've been waiting for, right? Doomsday didn't really do that. We thought they were going to do that when they were going to release those trailers, quote unquote. And what we got was just, a jumbled mess of, a mixed bag of nothingness, didn't even matter. You didn't even get a sense that these people were even in the same movie. But now we got a full trailer of the new Spider-Man movie. I'm so glad Tom Holland is back. I'm glad they got everyone back, man. That was a smart idea, dude.
Yeah, that's the interesting part too, right? Because this is a part 4 of the Tom Holland Spider-Man universe, and that's the thing, we've never gotten this far with Spider-Man. We've
Yes, I
never.
know.
So
Breaking
this
new
is
ground, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is like, yeah, brand new day carries like so much more meaning because it's like, yo, this is new territory, and this is a version of Peter who's like, it seems like he's mutating, which is also a very interesting thing because on top of that, we know Marvel wants to introduce like the X-Men and stuff, and they've been toying with mutants and stuff. So it's like, oh, is Peter going to get thrown into all that? What does that mean? Is it, because
Right?
we've always known that is like he's always been kind of on that edge of
Yes.
like stuff also happened to his DNA, right? And it's like it's kind of like the X-Men question is not even like that's part of like the overall picture, but even like looking at the movie itself and looking what we have actually like on film. And once again, Arturo, like you said, it's funny that this trailer just hits all the right beats because it feels like they made a movie, right? It's not like Doomsday where it's like, oh, okay, you've been filming since whatever, and you don't have enough to show us. So you kind of just
Yes, everything
made
everything
piecemeal
is so
teasers.
jumbled up. Yeah,
Yes,
dude,
yes,
that's a great point. That's an awesome point. Doomsday's been filming for a hot minute now, and they don't even have enough to piece together a a teaser, a
right,
teaser at
right.
all. Because what we got, I wouldn't even consider that a teaser. You should have just dropped character posters, and I would have been fine with that, you know. But
Yeah,
here, this is all remedied in Spider-Man: Brand New Day, and this trailer. I thought this trailer did a great job of giving us hope once again of superhero movies.
dude. Yeah,
James
like
Gunn did that last year with Superman, but we had so many questions going into it. Even after we saw the trailer for Superman, we were like, "Oh, I still don't know," you know.
right.
But then, with Spider-Man, and like Tech said, this is the fourth movie with all these characters, and bringing back Holland is so important, especially with that fan connection, because I think he did such a good job as Peter Parker, and that he connected with a lot of the fans, and the
Yeah,
fans really enjoyed his performance,
dude.
and it was so smart to bring him back. And now we're seeing this fourth adventure, and the fact that it's not a reboot or a remake with new
Yeah.
actors, it makes us even more hyped because we know what happened in the previous movie, right?
Yeah, like it's a sequel. Like
Yes.
he's going through it. He's having a terrible time. And it's funny because like the immediate response online from people was like, yo, like everyone was hyped because they like we kind of love a sad Peter, right? Like we love a
Yeah.
Peter who's going through it. And it sucks because but that's Spider-Man, right? It's like we like Spider-Man is at his best when he's like just having the worst time of his life. You know what I mean? And yet,
Yeah.
like, and that's the appeal, right? He's like he's going through it, but he's still Spider-Man at the end of the day. And that's kind of the thing where he's like he'll sacrifice himself, he'll do whatever is necessary to, to save the day. And like this is and it's funny because this is part of being a part four and part of being a sequel and part of being the Sony universe and the Marvel universe is that yeah, like it feels like comic booky too. Like that's also an important thing. Like we get recreations of comic book pages in this trailer. I
Love
feel
it.
like that's kind of like to me that reads opening montage kind of stuff of like like he's like this is what's been going on since you
Exactly.
last
What has
saw me,
Peter been
right?
up to recently? Yeah.
Yes,
Yep.
yeah, and it's probably gonna be quick flashes of like stuff like this where he's doing like the comic book fights and stuff so they can sneak in more characters. But then yeah, we see stuff like he's fighting Scorpion again. Scorpion who hasn't been brought up since like that very first movie. So it's like, oh yeah, so he's still around, right? It's stuff like that where it's like it's paying off the stuff. You have like Bruce Banner in it, you've got Punisher in it, and you've got these ninjas who may or may not be the Daredevil ninjas from Daredevil, the Hand. So it's
Yeah.
like, and then that's not all either. You've got someone in a hood doing psychic stuff, right?
Yep.
It's just there's so much going on. But then on top of that, you have Peter Parker, who is just having a terrible time, and he's mutating and like turning into dude. I don't know if you remember Arturo, but like the cartoon had like an episode where he like actually turned into a spider. I think it was
Yeah, there
like
was a
full
whole
on.
arc in the comic
y-
books of him kind of
Yeah,
doing this whole metamorphosis of of being a fucking spider, sorry, of being a spider, and it was very dope,
yeah,
and a very hot take and a different take. So I think they might be taking bits and pieces of that. And we see organic web shooters once again here in the mix, right?
Yeah,
Going
yeah,
back to the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, which is crazy because I don't know how I feel 100% yet about that because I do love the ingenuity of Peter Parker and the fact that he does
right.
need web shooters to do stuff. And when he goes up against, different foes that crush them, he's kind of on his own. So that always adds an obstacle. But it is an exciting turn of events here where he is getting organic web shooters. He's like, in this picture, if you guys are watching on YouTube, he's like coming out of this web or a cocoon of some sort.
Yeah,
Like hanging off the ledge of a building, and it just looks like we're gonna have a different kind of Peter with different kinds of powers here. The eyes turning could be his new Spidey sense kind of thing. I don't know if we'll go full kind of
yeah,
spider
that's
thing here,
true.
but
Like,
you did bring up a great point though about the mutation and the X-Men and the fact that, like, at the core, Spider-Man is a mutant because his DNA is changed because of the spider bite, but he's never referred as such, right?
yeah,
And going back to the first movie, or even the comic books, you never really hear that. So it is a very interesting point that you made, Tex, that they might be kind of building this bridge,
yeah,
to X-Men, and where that is gonna take us. But back to Peter Parker, man,
yeah.
can't
Like,
wait to see what happens with all the craziness that we just saw in this
yeah,
trailer.
because there's all sorts of stuff too. Because like, it we've got Punisher here, John Bernthal, and that once again confirms,
Mhm.
that Daredevil is part of this canon, right? It's like
Yes.
Daredevil Born Again is officially part of this MCU still, right? So it's like that kind of makes Daredevil a little more interesting, right? Like, because we have season 2, and it's so smart to drop this trailer right before that because we're
Yeah.
like, yeah, because you and I were gonna watch this anyway, and buddies, we're covering Daredevil Born Again season 2. We have to, like, just in case. But now it's like kind of like, oh, maybe we do have to cover this a little bit more because it's like, oh, because he's getting a key of the city from the mayor. Is that Fisk? Like, it's like, is what's going on? Because funny enough, people spotted the woman giving him the key to the city is the like she's the aide we see in Born Again. So it's
Mm.
like, oh, does something happen in season 2 that like is she the mayor? Is this still the mayor? But like Heidi, like it's all very interesting because then
Yes.
you've got that being developed. You've got Mark Ruffalo back as Bruce Banner. And once again, She Hulk is important again because if you didn't watch She Hulk, you didn't know that he has that device on his hand that now turns the gamma stuff off and he's able to go back to being a human. So it's like you missed that if you didn't watch She Hulk. But I think the biggest thing to like kind of dig into and kind of like the biggest question is what's going on with MJ and Ned, right? Because like they're in this, which is part of the excitement. Because I was also wondering, like, oh, because they forget him, would they just start introducing new characters, right? It's like, oh, okay, move past the MJ and Ned and start introducing stuff like Gwen Stacy and like, maybe not Flash, but like Peter has friends, right? He's got other rosters of friends from the
Yeah.
comics that we could have seen. But no, like we have MJ and Ned back here. They don't remember him, but do they remember Spider-Man? And that's kind of like my big question leading into this. Is like, okay, it's clear they don't know who Peter is,
Yeah.
but do they remember
You know what?
Spider-Man?
I don't think so. From the trailer, we get a quick scene of them watching Spider-Man get the key to the city, and they
Right.
look kind of like non-aware of who this person is. Like there's no familiarity in their faces looking at the TV screen because you would think if we did have these adventures with Spider-Man still, we would be like, "Oh, snap," you know what I mean? Um, they would be excited or their expressions would be different, but the trailer shows otherwise. But it is a great point though, because what is the extent of Strange's magic, right?
Yeah,
Do
like
they
what did he
forget
erase?
altogether about the identity of Spider-Man being Peter Parker? or Peter Parker as a person just kind of vanishes, but the character of Spider-Man is still around. We don't know
Yeah,
that yet, so
yeah.
that is a great point, dude.
That's the thing, because the like it was just that they forgot Peter Parker, right? But it's also like, did they forget him as a person? Like, is he just erased from the memories, or did they just like forget his name? Like, like, do they have memories of hanging out with like another dude that just, they just don't remember what the dude's name was? Because like MJ and Ned are still friends. And that's the thing, right? It's like, would they have been friends without Peter? And,
Yes.
maybe it's like, oh, maybe we're thinking too much about it. But no, like, these are honest questions about like how this magic actually worked. Like,
Yeah.
what got rewritten in their brains through this spell? And because, is it possible to turn the clock back? Like, that's the thing. Like, we see a moment of like Peter in the trailer. You have MJ with like a new love interest or whatever, like some guy hitting on her, and he's like, oh man, he's so sad. And and he's like watching her Instagram reels and stuff like that. Dude, like, he's doing the full on, like, he's going through it. He's doing the
Yeah.
ex-boyfriend thing of
Poor
like,
Peter.
he's going through it. He's having a tough time. But then it's like, you know, is it possible to change the spell back? Like, I don't know. And what does this mean for like Avengers? Like, because he's not technically, so Peter's not an Avenger, but is Spider-Man considered like part of the Avengers? You know what I mean? It's stuff like that, because like, yeah, Bruce wouldn't know him, but I don't think like, I don't know. I'm just like, I'm kind of like, I've got so many questions about how
Yeah.
this works that
Yeah,
like,
I mean, like, Bruce not knowing him, but again, that goes to him not knowing Peter Parker, right?
yes,
Not
yes.
exactly like, not knowing Spider-Man. So, it's,
But he
but
would
you know
know
what though?
Spider-Man, right? And
Didn't,
that's the thing. Like,
Scorpion kind of he spoke to him like he knew him, right?
and that's the other thing too. Like, this is also like, I'm curious what that means. Maybe he just, you know what? Then again, because this is so many years since No Way Home, maybe he's just been doing stuff,
Yeah.
and that, because we see Peter taking on, like, I think it's like Boomerang, like some low rent like villains or whatever from the comics. But I think
Oh,
it's
true,
just like,
because you know what, too? Like, because of the time as well,
yeah,
of course,
yeah,
now they know who Spider-Man is, right? So
yes,
we still don't know based on the trailer what the answer is to this,
yeah,
crazy question.
because it's like
But it's such a good point though you brought up though, Tex.
he's been doing Spider-Man stuff this whole time, right? And it's just like, okay, like, what, I guess this is like, not only, I think that's what it is. Like, I'm excited for this movie. It looks fun, it looks good, it looks dope. Because at the end of the day, Arturo, you know better than I do, like, just something about a good Spider-Man movie, right? It's
Yeah,
like,
when it hits, man.
yeah, there's just something about Spider-Man as a character that like, it's kind of like the best one of like all these all these superheroes, not even just Marvel, but
Yeah,
maybe even better than like Superman and Batman, where it's just like, there's something
yeah,
about Spider-Man that's just like hits that different kind of wavelength that like, you see Spider-Man movie and you're like, I want to go see Spider-Man, right? It's just like, turns you into a kid again, and you want to see Peter like overcome whatever crazy obstacle he's gonna face off. He's fighting against like an army of ninjas, but like, what happened? Like, how did he get there? And of course, it's one Peter against like a whole world of whatever. And it's like, oh, is the Punisher gonna team up with him at some point? Because it seems like they have a rapport by now, right? Like,
yeah,
because
yeah,
he calls him Frank, and it's
yep.
like, okay, they've been like, dude, and what does it mean, right? Like, what is this going to mean for like? Is this going to be like the other Sony movies where stuff happens in Spider-Man and they just kind of doesn't get acknowledged everywhere else, or
I
is this
think
going?
they learned their lesson with that, right? And I
I
think
think so too.
based
Yeah,
on how big this character is and how much money it brings in at the box office, and the
yeah,
fact that they brought back Holland and Zendaya and Ned, forget Ned's the actor who plays Ned's, and they brought back all these other characters that have been associated with this universe.
yeah,
They have plans. They know that Sony, they as in Sony, they know to not touch this.
yeah.
Like, you know what? Hands off. We can tinker with the villains over here, the ones that they let us play with.
You know,
but we're not touching it.
speaking of, just a small little aside to kind of wrap up this conversation here, Arturo. So I forget where, I think it was Variety, or I think it was just like a quote that like one of the executives is like, they basically want to try again with the Spider-Man Sony universe of like just finding different
Yeah.
characters and different actors to kind of focus on. And that sounds dumb. But like
I mean,
they
listen, that's the head of Sony who said that, right?
yeah,
So,
yeah, and
I mean,
it's
he
like,
also, Sold K-pop Demon Hunters, for 20 million to Netflix and lost out
and then
on
Netflix,
a couple
and it
Oscars. So,
yeah, and it won Oscars, and like it became like the most watched thing on Netflix
yeah,
ever. And it's like, yo, come on,
best
like,
animated movie. Come on, like,
and,
yeah.
yo,
Sony knows,
imagine,
like, again, what I was saying with Spider-Man specifically, with like in regards to anything that Spider-Man is doing ever since this Tom Holland inception, they have been treading very carefully as to what they do with this character and who they
yeah,
surround him with. And I don't think they make any moves without calling Mr. Kevin over at the Marvel Studios, right? So,
yeah, especially
um,
now because like you've
yeah.
got you've got Secret Wars getting ready to blow it all up and start it from the beginning. So
And
like, but that's the
Spider-Man
thing,
is in Secret Wars.
and and we just let Tom, like, if this is the plan, do another trilogy with Tom Holland. Like, just pay him however much he wants to do two more of these, and give us one final like complete story, right? Like, give us one last trilogy. I Part of me wants them to do like Black Suit Spider-Man eventually, but like, I don't know if he's already turning into Man Spider and stuff. It's like, it's kind of like, yo,
Yeah,
even
you don't wanna
I'm
do
like,
a whole other kind of,
yes, yeah,
it's in like the
exactly,
action figures of the '90s where Batman or Spider-Man had like 1,000 different accessories and
yes.
things that and things that they never use, so
Yeah,
they definitely
exactly.
have
Like,
to be
oh,
careful though.
here's the
Yeah.
deep sea version of Spider-Man. Like, here's the one
It's
for you to
aquatic
play.
Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Here's skydiving Spider-Man. It's like, does he have to skydive?
yes, that's
Why does he have a
exactly it.
parachute?
Where it's like, yo, like, sometimes too much is too much, right? And it's like,
Yes,
okay, he's already dealing with a lot in this one. Let's see what's going on here, and then we can think about it. But my thing is like, yo, give him his money. Let's do as many of them as he wants to make, and we want it. Like, we'll just go see him.
agreed. Agree. Like as long as Holland is down to do it, I think Sony will be smart enough to kind of be a little bit more hands off with this in terms of how they control their marketing
Yeah,
machine and how they do their business.
yeah.
Yeah.
If Marvel had to sacrifice Shang-Chi, in order to get like Spider-Man, like, hey man, like,
Yeah, listen, we're in a whole
good
new
luck.
world now. We have
Yeah,
no
good
clue what's going on in the MCU. We don't even know how this current Spider-Man movie is going to tie in, even
yeah,
though, we have the same people. So we are technically in that same universe and we
yeah,
haven't left yet. So
yeah.
that is very exciting. And if we get more Spider-Man stuff, which I hope we probably get one more final trailer before it comes out in July
Oh, yeah,
31st.
we're
Well,
gonna get 20,000 of these.
yeah, we're gonna be doing another one for you guys out there because we love this so much and we are so hyped for this. And I hope you buddies out there are hyped for it as well. Do not forget to check out the trailer for Spider-Man Brand New Day now playing on YouTube, wherever you get your trailers. Go check that one out. And thank you for listening. This has been The Morgue, where we dissect the latest and greatest in the world of entertainment. And we are your hosts, Arturo Padilla, along with Mr. Nick Valdez. A big shout out goes to you guys out there for listening and for watching. We have all these episodes wherever you get your podcast streams and on YouTube. Go to the playlist, go check out all that stuff from years and years ago. Like, subscribe, and share. We highly appreciate it. We are on all the socials. Big shout out goes to Del Virus for all the artwork you've seen in front of you. And folks, buddies out there, always remember it is a scary world out there, but we are here to walk you through it.